He was supposed to win. Everyone knew it. Ilya Malinin, the 21-year-old American prodigy known as the Quad God, walked into the men's figure skating final at the Milan Winter Olympics as the heaviest favourite in the sport's recent history. He'd already nailed the short programme with a sparkling 108.16. He was the only skater to ever land a quad axel in competition. The gold medal was a formality.
And then
he fell. Twice. On a quad lutz, and what should have been a quad axel that turned into a single. Malinin, in his sparkly gold outfit, shook his head as the crowd went silent. When the scores came in, the Quad God finished 8th.
8th. Not bronze, not close. 8th.
Kazakhstan's Mikhail Shaidarov took the gold with a free skate that brought the crowd to its feet. Japan's Yuma Kageyama claimed silver. Shun Sato took bronze. Malinin, he fell out of medal contention entirely. This wasn't supposed to happen. In figure skating, falls are catastrophic, but Malinin's technical ability usually gave him enough margin that he could survive mistakes. Not today. The pressure of the Olympic moment, the weight of expectations, something broke.
Is this the biggest upset in Olympic figure skating history?
It's certainly one of them. Malinin had been dominating international competitions for years. He was world champion. He invented elements other skaters can't even attempt. But the Olympics have a way of humbling even the greatest. Meanwhile, in the corporate world, the Epstein files continue to claim casualties.
Who's the latest?
Kathy Rumler, the top lawyer at Goldman Sachs and former White House counsel under President Obama, she announced her resignation on Thursday after a trove of emails revealed she had a far closer relationship with Jeffrey Epstein than she'd ever admitted. Rumler had previously called Epstein a, quote, monster, and claimed their relationship was purely professional, lawyer to client. The emails tell a different story.
How different?
She called him Uncle Jeffrey. She received luxury gifts, Hermes handbags, a Fendi coat, an Apple Watch, spa treatments. His assistant wrote to her, quote, "It makes him happy to see you happy," unquote. They discussed dating lives, complained about babies in business class, planned dinners across multiple cities. At one point, Epstein even listed Rumler as a backup executor of his will. This wasn't lawyer-client, this was friendship, and all of it continued after Epstein's 2008 conviction for sex crimes when he was already a registered sex offender.
How did Goldman Sachs respond?
CEO David Solomon thanked her for, quote, sound advice, unquote. She'll officially leave on June 30th. The firm isn't rushing her out, but there's no hiding why she's going. Roughly 8,400 documents in the Epstein files reference her. Rumler is the highest-profile corporate casualty of the files so far, but she likely won't be the last. Across the world in Bangladesh, history was made at the ballot box.
What happened?
The Bangladesh Nationalist Party, or BNP, won a landslide victory in what's being called the country's first truly free and fair election in almost 20 years. They took 212 seats, a commanding two-thirds majority. This was the first election since a Gen Z uprising toppled the autocratic regime of Sheikh Hasina last year. Her 15-year rule was marked by widespread suppression, disappearances, torture, and elections that were essentially rigged.
So who won?
Tariq-e-Rahman, who returned to Bangladesh in December after 17 years of exile in London. He's poised to become Prime Minister. His party, the BNP, comes from one of Bangladesh's most powerful political dynasties. His mother, Khaleda Zia, was Prime Minister. His father, Ziaur Rahman, was president before being assassinated in 1981. The Islamist party, Jamaat-e-Islami, won 77 seats, their best showing ever. Voter turnout hit nearly 60%, compared to just 42% in the last elections under Hasina.
Is this actually a win for democracy?
That depends on what the BNP does next. Their previous regime was riddled with corruption. Young voters, the ones who drove the uprising, are watching closely. One student told reporters, quote, "We want an end to fear, not just a change of faces," unquote. Now back to America, where the Minnesota immigration crackdown has finally ended.
Operation Metro Surge is over?
It is. Border Czar Tom Homan announced on Thursday that the massive deportation operation in Minneapolis-St. Paul is winding down. After 10 weeks, 4,000 arrests and 2 fatal shootings of U.S. citizens by federal agents. Renee Good, a 37-year-old mother of 3, was shot in January after a confrontation with ICE officers. Alex Pretty was killed weeks later. Both were American citizens. Both deaths sparked massive protests.
So why did it end?
Officially, the administration says the operation achieved its goals. Unofficially, the political cost became too high. Democrats in Congress refused to fund the Department of Homeland Security without reforms to how ICE operates, including mandatory body cameras and requirements for judicial warrants. And that brings us to tonight. At midnight, DHS officially shuts down.
Wait, the Department of Homeland Security is shutting down.
Partially, yes. The Senate failed to clear the 60-vote threshold needed to pass the DHS appropriations bill. Democrats blocked it, 52 to 47, demanding restrictions on immigration enforcement after the Minneapolis deaths. Then lawmakers left Washington for a 10-day President's Day recess. No funding, no deal, no resolution in sight.
What does that mean practically?
ICE and Border Patrol will keep operating. They have separate funding. But TSA workers, the people screening your bags at airports, will work without pay. FEMA workers will be furloughed. The Coast Guard faces disruption. This is the second partial shutdown this month. The longest government shutdown in US history. 43 days, just ended last year. We might be looking at another extended one.
All because of what happened in Minneapolis.
All because 2 American citizens were shot by federal agents, and Congress couldn't agree on how to prevent it from happening again. A figure-skating legend fell from grace. A Wall Street lawyer's friendship with a monster caught up with her. A nation voted freely for the first time in a generation. And an immigration crackdown that changed everything finally ended, leaving Congress paralyzed in its wake. That's your world, Friday the 13th, 2026.